Hello, Virgos, and welcome to this, your final reading of 2023. Who can believe we are actually at the end of 2023 already? Okay, for those of you who are new here, thank you so much for trusting and clicking on this video. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support this channel. My name is Marnie, also known as Intuitive Butterfly. And before I dive into your reading, I do have one really quick announcement to make. This is my favorite time of the year because once a year and only once a year, I offer a special. And my special is a 13 card reading overview of 2024. Now, this is at a special price. It's $90 Canadian. It does not matter where you are coming to me from in the world. It is $90 Canadian. So for some of you out there whose currency is worth a little bit more, this is a fantastic deal for you. In return for $90 Canadian, you get 1 hour of my time, and that includes a 13 card personalized reading, and it is live. So if you want to have the opportunity to interact and ask questions, it's a live reading over Zoom. I will leave all of the details in the description below. Okay, now Virgo. The last time I did a reading for you, it was for the time frame from December 1st through to December 15th. And in that reading, there was some thunderbolt moments. You were going to be moving into abundance, but in order to be able to move into abundance, the cards also indicated that you had a little bit of work to do with the Hierophant. And the Hierophant type work is, just as a refresher, looking into the institutions and what is influencing us unconsciously. So hopefully you guys have all started on that kind of work, examining what is unconsciously influencing you so that you can move into this place of abundance that the cards were predicting for you in your last reading. Let's get started. We are going to start off with where you are at now. I am using my newest deck. And for those of you who are new here, I do not edit my videos. So what you see is what you get, including cards that flip out, cards that land on the floor, me tripping over my words, the camera shaking. All of these fun things are, just part of what goes on here. Okay, so where we are at now, interesting. We have, okay. 4 cards have jumped out for you for where you are at now. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is about an opportunity for new abundance riding in on its high horse. I'm not sure that this is going to work. Let me see. All right. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to just have to play with my lighting a little bit. I do have a light or a window right in front of me with the sun going under clouds, and yeah. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles here. Now, anytime a knight arrives in the tarot, all of the knights are all about coming in on their horse and delivering messages. The Knight of Pentacles in particular is about riding in and bringing us messages about financial opportunities. So that's a great one. We have the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Cups here. Interesting that we have 2 sevens coming out back to back. Now, sevens are very often believed to be a lucky number by numerous societies. Oh, there's the Hierophant type work coming in again, because we're going to look at traditions. Oh, wow, my lighting is just whack today. I do apologize. Okay, so there's the Hierophant work coming in as to whether your belief system, Virgo, is that sevens are lucky or not. In certain societies, certain cultures, the 7 is extremely lucky, and you have 2 of them coming out here back to back. Now, the 7 of Swords is sometimes viewed as the card of deceit. It is a card of caution. It's a card indicating that someone in your midst may not be telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So just be aware of that. And part of the reason that we like to consult with psychics, tarot readers, and so on is because when we get a card such as the 7 of Swords in a reading, It helps us to have a heads up about something that may be occurring that we're not seeing. So, where you're at now as you move into the latter half of December, right around the middle of December, there is good news riding in about financial abundance, but also there may be somebody in your midst who is not being as honest or forthcoming about information as you would like them to be. You have the Seven of Cups here. Now, the Seven of Cups is an amazing card, really. It's a card reminding us that our thoughts create our realities. And all of what we want to manifest begins with us fantasizing about what we want to manifest, right? Which is great. The caveat to this seven, like each of the sevens in the deck has both a positive side as well as a negative side. And this particular seven, the negative side is that if you are in the process of creating a new reality for yourself and creating a new future for yourself, make sure you're not going too far into what could be considered complete overall fantasy. It's okay to want to manifest abundance. And incidentally, Virgo, you are not the first zodiac sign to have the Seven of Cups this reading. In fact, I believe you are the fifth or maybe even the sixth to have this card come up, not necessarily in this position for the reading, but definitely this is an overall theme that's coming up right now. So the Seven of Cups is about manifesting. It's about recognizing that our thoughts become our reality, but it is also about keeping our thoughts in check and not going so far deep into our what we wish to manifest that it becomes fantasy. I mean, clearly, we're probably not going to be manifesting sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns. Sure, sunshine, yeah. Rainbows, yep. Unicorns, maybe not. We might be pushing it over the edge there. And so that's the caveat of this card is by all means, manifest that bright, beautiful sunshine day for a special event, but you're probably not going to have a real unicorn ride in for you. Okay. And you also have the Hermit coming in. Now, the Hermit is the card that, and it's not coming into focus. Maybe, let's see. Let's see here. There we go. There's the Hermit. Okay. Now, the Hermit is the card of quiet withdrawal. It's the card saying it's time to withdraw from society temporarily. And it's not uncommon to have the Hermit come up after the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the number 5 in the tarot, in the major arcana of the tarot, and the Hermit is number 9. So it does come as a progression afterwards, because after we've done deep Hierophant work, which was indicated in your previous reading, it's not uncommon for us to want to go into quiet solitude for the purposes of digging deeper into who we are and what our belief systems are without a whole bunch of other influences. All right, where are we going to go for what you are focusing on? What are you going to be focusing on as you move into the remainder? All right, that one came face up. Aha, Queen of Wands. Okay, what else? I do have a card that's gone down on the floor, so you'll have to excuse me for just a moment as I go and grab that. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So the first card that you have and what you are focusing on is the Queen of Wands. Now, the suit of Wands is ruled by the element of fire. And so the Queen of Wands is about taking action towards your thoughts, dreams, and manifestations, as indicated by the Seven of Cups over here. She is she's also the only queen that is represented in the tarot that happens to have a cat. Now, of course, with the everyday witch tarot card, there are plenty of cats, including on the queens. But in the Rider-Waite and more traditional decks, the Queen of Wands is the only one that has a cat, indicating her potential connection to the occult or to the more spiritual realms. And so this is an indication right now for you, Virgo, that you are moving into this ability to be able to manifest more quickly, right? Because we're dealing with the Suit of Wands here, that you are going to be working hard towards achieving your goals, but you are probably going to also be using some of what, for about the last 200 years or 200 years or so, the occult, spiritual side of things, meditation, yoga, using exercise for the purposes of bringing about more clarity in ourselves. It's being referred to as woo-woo, and it really isn't. But there is the possibility, just for lack of, the English language kind of has some restrictions, but this card is indicating, Virgo, that it looks like as you're working towards manifesting, you may be using a little bit more of the woo-woo side of things in order to be able to manifest. You have the Knight of Swords here. Now, you had the Knight of Pentacles come up in where you are at now, and now you have the Knight of Swords coming in. And the Knight of Swords is someone who tends to go after things a little bit more aggressively than he should. He can be a little bit hot-headed. And the reason that he can be a little hot-headed is the Suit of Swords is ruled by the mind, the mental realm. And so sometimes the common sense or the emotions are not involved, and they have a tendency to go charging in. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? It all depends on your perspective. If you want to go into, something romantic, you probably don't want to go barreling in. But perhaps in business, having the Knight of Swords is actually kind of a positive thing, because sometimes you have to go out and grab life by the horns and go after what you want. And that's what this card is indicating for you at this time. And you also have the King of Swords right next to him. And the King of Swords, is, again, ruled by the mind or the mental realm. And this king often brings advice. Now, it's advice, Virgo, that you may need to hear. In fact, you probably need to hear it. But it's advice that you maybe don't want to hear, or the delivery of it is given to you in such a way that it makes you feel like you've just put on grandma's itchy sweater at Christmas time. And you're going, oh, okay, I know I have to wear this sweater so that grandma's sitting over there and she's all proud because she knit it. But as soon as you're out of her sight, you're going to take that sweater off. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. So this King of Swords is indicating that at this time, one of the things you're focusing on is the manifestation either of someone coming in to give you some advice, but when you actually get that advice, you're going to go, "Ah, this, yeah, that's, you need that advice, but there's still an aspect of that could have been handled a little bit differently." Okay. So with these three cards here, the Queen, the Knight, and the King as well, you have three court cards here, and that is also indicating that there is something going on in the family for you right now, Virgo, at this time. Family dynamics are strong for you. Family connections are strong for you at this time with these three cards coming in for your focus. That's not really surprising, considering we're going into a holiday season. And I mean, I'm not just talking about one particular holiday. It doesn't matter which holiday you choose to recognize and acknowledge at this time of the year. This is a time of the year when many people decide to celebrate, and that includes celebrating the solstice coming up. And yeah, you may be deciding to do something special for the solstice with this queen coming in with the black cat, and it may help with your manifestations. Let's have a look at what's coming up for your difficult influences. Where are we going? I'm getting called back over here to the Everyday Witch. So, oh, and that one is on the floor, all the way down there. All right. We have two cards out. Okay. It's always embarrassing. Okay. Ooh, you have the Chariot coming in your difficult influences. Now, the Chariot often indicates that there is some kind of decision that you need to make, specifically a moral decision. So, and given that this came up in your difficult influences, it is an indication that you're bumping up some against some kind of moral decision at this time. It may be a decision involving your family. That's why you've got the 3 court cards over here. So just something to think about as well. The Chariot also indicates that something is coming at you quickly. Like there's something coming at you quickly. It's likely going to require you to make a moral decision, and it's not something that you can necessarily delay, Virgo. And you also have the 4 of Pentacles coming up in your difficult influences. Now, the 4 of Pentacles is kind of a neat card to read because it's the card that I like to call the coveting card. It is a card where sometimes when things are not 100% perfect in our own lives, we like to look over the fence. And for many of us, we live in a society that likes to compare. We as humans like to compare ourselves to others. And we often covet what's on the other side of the fence. The old saying, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. It's not always true. The grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence, but sometimes our perceptions get the better of us. And so this card is saying to you at this time, Virgo, don't be looking over the fence thinking the grass is greener. Don't be coveting what somebody else has. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So, especially at this time of the year when it's a holiday season, it's often a family season. Virgo, please don't be looking at other families going, oh, their family is so perfect. Why can't mine be like that? Because you may not know what's happening behind the closed doors. So that is one of your lessons for this particular time of the year. Let's move into messages the universe wants Virgo to hear this time. We've got 2 cards jumping out. They're very anxious to get out. There's another one. That one decided not to come out. Okay. So we do have 3 messages here for you, Virgo. We're going to pick them up in the order in which they came out. And don't relinquish your power. And we're going to have lighting issues again. All right. Don't relinquish your power. Given the fact that you have the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Swords, these are really strong, powerful cards for you. And they are indicating don't give over your power. The 4 of Pentacles, right, is also about don't give up your power, because if you're coveting what somebody else has, then you're not living your own truth anymore. What else do you have here? You have possess self-confidence. Good message. And practice moderation. This is a really important message for this time of the year, moving into the holidays. And I have to tell you, Virgo, this is the 11th zodiac sign video that I have done for the end of December. And out of 11, I would say at least 8, maybe 9 have all had this practice moderation message come in. So there is definitely a common theme, not just running through one specific zodiac sign, but running through as a general whole right now of practice moderation. Now, that's not just practice moderation with regards to the amount of perhaps spirits and beverages you may consume, but it's also practice moderation with regards to the amount of food you may encounter at this time of the year. Practice moderation with regards to your emotions as well. When we are dealing with families and family dynamics, there may be reason to practice moderation and practice moderation specifically with your bank account. Now, the Four of Pentacles, as I mentioned, is about sometimes us coveting what somebody else has. The grass is greener on the other side of the fence. Oh my goodness, how does that person afford all those gifts at this time of the year? And oh, I wish I had that. Yeah, practice moderation in your own shopping at this juncture in time. Okay. So, Virgo, before I move on, basically the general message that you have been receiving so far, just to sum things up, because some of these cards have had us going all over the place. You have a call into doing some more manifesting by way of meditation and going within and doing some stuff on your own. You are consciously concentrating on these three court cards, the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the King of Swords, all of which are indicating that you are in the process of manifesting something really big, including additional financial abundance. This Queen is indicating that whatever you're working towards manifesting is, you have this 7 over here for manifesting, then the Hermit. This Queen is indicating that you may be using some of what used to be called woo-woo, but is now going mainstream in order to help you with your manifestation. Try not to covet what others have. Practice moderation. You do have a moral decision coming up. Let's look at what is unexpected. Unexpected for Virgo. What's coming up for Virgo? Okay, so we have two cards coming up for you. We have rice and nourishment, and we also have the desert and thirst card. Okay, the desert and thirst card coming up with the Four of Pentacles in your difficult influences actually makes a whole lot of sense. Like a whole lot of sense. I'll get into this one in just a moment. You had the practice moderation card. And again, I cannot seem to get this card to come into focus. There we go. Okay, so with the practice moderation card, remember what I said, practice moderation with regards to consumption at this time of the year, consumption of alcoholic beverages, consumption of food, consumption of consumer goods. All of these things are asking you to moderate. And now you have the rice or nourishment card. Disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm not giving formal medical advice here. I am giving generally accepted suggestions. Okay. At this time of the holidays, practice moderation. Don't be drinking extra alcohol. Don't be stuffing a whole lot of extra food into your mouth. Don't be spending more than what you make. And having this nourishment card come up in your unexpected is an indication that at this time, Virgo, you are being called to pay attention to the nourishment that you are giving your physical body, that you are also giving your mental mind, that you are also giving your spiritual realm. Pay attention. Are you nourishing all of the aspects of yourself at this time? Are you taking good care of yourself? That's important right now. Now, Getting into this desert and thirst card in your unexpected. This card speaks volumes to this Four of Pentacles that came up for you, in that if you are thirsting after, some of you might be lusting after too. I don't know, that word just came up to me. Then again, you're in that place of coveting, okay? But the other side to this card is really good. And the other side, remember I said most of the cards have both a positive and a negative? So the negative to this is if you're thirsting after and lusting after something, but it's just out of reach, that's kind of the negative side. This card is also about if you are hungry for something, you're going to go after it. If you are hungry to manifest a brand new business for yourself in 2024, you are going to go after it, because somebody who is thirsty, nothing can stop them. Nothing gets in their way, Virgo. Nourishment. You are going to be seeking nourishment for your body, mind, and spirit at this time in order to be able to accomplish the goals that are indicated here by this Queen, this Knight, and this King. Something is coming up right now for you, Virgo, that you are planning on going after. And you also have this Chariot here indicating that you are going after something, while at the same time there's also a decision coming. So this card is like a twofold card. But let me just tap into your energy for just a second here. For a lot of you guys, for a lot of the Virgos out there has been something that you have been working towards manifesting for some time, and it's been in your thoughts for some time. I do want to say that for many of you, this has to do with business and career. It has to do with saying, I am done with being the employee. I want to be the employer, and I'm going to be my own boss. I'm feeling that really strongly for many of you Virgos, is you in 2024 really have created this eye for this view, this mindset of I'm going out on my own and nothing's going to get in my way. And these cards are indicating that that's the direction that you're heading in. It is a wonderful time of the year to do that, not just because the cards are saying it, Virgo, but also because we're moving into the solstice. The solstice is a great time to be setting intentions. But also the winter time is the time when we start thinking about what seeds are we going to plant in the spring. And right now is the time when we are doing the mental work that is necessary. The thoughts create our realities. Okay, let's move into your final general overall outcome for 2023, the end of this reading. Interesting. So far, we just have one card that's decided to jump out for you, Virgo, for your final overall outcome. And we've got one more. Is it going? Yeah, it's going to come out. Okay. Okay. So we have we have a situation for you, Virgo, and it may explain why you're in the process of not yet fully realizing what you want to manifest. Your thoughts create your reality. And I've said that numerous times, and I just said it again just before I pulled this card. And you ended up with the Nine of Winter. This card corresponds to the Nine of Swords. This is the card of catastrophism. This is the card of lying awake in bed at night going, oh, it's never going to happen. Oh, things are so horrible. Oh, coveting. Oh, my neighbor is so much more abundant than me. Why can't I be more like my neighbor? If you are doing that, stop. On the other hand, you have the Six of Winter coming in. Six of Swords is coming in. This is a card indicating that positive things are coming your way, that things are going to start rolling out the way that they're supposed to. And the Six of Winter is the card of potentially traveling or relocating. Now, whether that travel is happening as astral travel because you're doing so much of this manifestation work with this Seven of Cups and this Hermit and the Queen and so on, or whether it's actual physical travel. There's travel coming up for you. And, positive changes are on their way, a welcome relief from troubled times, traveling and or relocating. That is the message of the Six of Winter. And that is your final card of your reading, Virgo. So a really positive way to end off, like I said, just stop. When you wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm just going to go into a little bit of advice here, formal advice from a counselor. When the Nine of Swords or Nine of Winter comes up for us, and we're lying awake in bed at night, start to head towards the positive. Put your thoughts on the positive. Our thoughts are more powerful when we are already in that somewhat relaxed state and lying in our bed. So therefore, if what we're doing is worrying while we're lying awake in bed, it's more powerful in that moment. So therefore, even if it means rolling over and grabbing your phone for a 10-minute meditation in the middle of the night to help you to fall back to sleep and fall back to sleep with positive thoughts on your mind rather than negative thoughts on your mind, that is going to bring about this Six of Winter for you. That is going to bring about this manifestation of a new business. That's going to bring about this thirst that you have to go after exactly what it is that you want to achieve, Virgo. All right. I'm going to leave off your reading here. Thank you so much for joining me. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If this video resonated, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Also, just a reminder, check the link in the description below if you are interested in booking that 13-card reading with me. Like I said, it's only available until January 15th, and then it will not be available again until next December. Thank you so much, everyone.